tsa setšhaba go tlhalosetsa batho gore ditiro tsa bona ke difeng na. Yaanong re selemong se bao ba sa etseng ditiro tse tshwanetseng ba le di-councillor tsa rona re tlo ba ntsha ditulong tsa bona. Le bao ba utswang tšhelete ya setšhaba le bona re tla ba ntsha ditulong tsa bona. Re re bao ba kgethilweng o ka ba o kgethilwe ko local government, ko masepaleng, ko provinceng le ko national, ha o sa sebetse ka tsela e tshwanetseng, yaanong re tla kenya phafa, re tla ba ntsha mo ditulong tsa bona. Ke yona tsela e re bonang gore e ka lokisa mesebetsi ya rona. Now, local government also has a central role in the economic development and job creation. We call on all our municipalities to ensure that the local economic development plans reflect comparative advantages of each area and build partnerships with the private sector. Ke mo re reng the district development model e re na leng yona ya gore bao ba na leng boikarabelo mo nthong tse dintsi mo masepaleng ba sebetse ba tshwarane matsogo, go be le cooperation, go be le collaboration, so that we can advance the interests of our people. Municipalities must participate into revitalization of our industrial parks, our special economic zones, to attract investment that supports local manufacturing, reduce red tape, and to enable small, medium enterprises and informal businesses to be able to operate effectively. We call on municipalities to optimize public employment programs and to implement preferential procurement that supports local businesses, especially township and village, to foster inclusive growth and a transformed, inclusive and thriving economy that works for all South Africans is the central objective of the ANC's economic strategy. Our strategy for inclusive growth, forward-looking industrial policy, improved service delivery, land reform, transformative spatial planning, and Black economic empowerment and supportive microeconomic policies that are aimed to enable the women of our country to be empowered economically, to get into business, to run their businesses, that enables the young people of our country to acquire skills and to assist them when they want to form their own businesses. Growth must drive radical social and economic transformation through the redistribution of wealth and opportunity. After 15 years of low growth, we are beginning to see the signs that the economy is approaching a turning point. Projections indicate that through disciplined implementation of the ANC 10-point pro-economic action plan, we can meet our targets on inclusion of growth and employment. Our investment philosophy must enable private sector investment in national infrastructure, revitalization through diverse funding mechanisms, while maintaining strategic state ownership, and effective regulatory control. A social compact that unites government, labor, civil society, and business around a coherent national investment strategy to accelerate growth and the development is an important priority. The ANC has remained steadfast in defense of constitutional imperative to redress past imbalances and promote the empowerment of Black South Africans, youth and women. We have agreed that industrial policy must be a leading instrument of economic development, positioning diverse industries to succeed in an increasingly digitized and decarbonized world economy. We are making significant headway in improving the efficiency of our railways and ports. Support for local informal businesses and micro-enterprises will be central to our program of transformation and inclusive growth. Since October 2020, new public employment programs have created earning opportunities for over 2 million participants, the majority of whom were young people and women. The National General Council that we held in December mandated the ANC to ensure that government reforms the skills system to better meet the needs of the economy and to ensure that young people are equipped for employment and entrepreneurship. And this includes strengthening basic education and also reviewing the SETA system. And it decided that we should have a dual system of getting young people to learn formally, academically, but at the same time to ensure that they get into learning positions in the job situation. The dual system has benefited many other countries that today are giants of manufacturing. South Africa needs to move in the same direction. Land reform remains one of the most urgent tasks of the National Democratic Revolution. While progress has been made, much more is required to give effect to the constitutional requirement for redress and equitable access to land by our people. Key tasks include strengthening support for land reform beneficiaries, accelerating the processing of outstanding reparation claims, and resolving disputes more efficiently. We must also address the urban land reform, as most South Africans live in cities now, where access to well-located land and housing remains deeply unequal. Disruptions to global trading systems threaten South African exports. Government will be accelerating export market diversification in order to ensure that we are able to take advantage of various other markets where we can export our goods, including to the rest of our continent. The third task for the ANC in 2026 is to wage war on crime and corruption and tackle gender-based violence, gang violence, illegal mining, and drug trafficking. Crime, corruption, and GBV undermine the gains of freedom and shared prosperity. Our primary goal remains the reduction of violent and organized crime and the eradication of gender-based violence. This will be achieved through enhanced community mobilization, visible and effective policing, and improved use of intelligence and technology as well. However, it requires a whole of government and whole of society approach to address the social, economic, spatial, and crime and violence as well. During the past year, the police continued to work with other law enforcement agencies to dismantle organized crime syndicates, to combat financial crime, and record successes in arrests, firearm recoveries, and vehicle seizures. In 2025, government took a major step by classifying gender-based violence as a national disaster. Work has since begun with all stakeholders to determine how this classification can be implemented effectively. The ANC's Women's League, working with civil society, has continued to lead efforts to build a united front against gender-based violence and femicide. A re leboge ANC Women's League, re ba shapele matsogo ka hobane ba etsa tiro e pila go lwantshana le gender-based violence. Our government continues to strengthen immigration management through the Border Management Authority, the review of immigration policies and regulations and legislation that prioritize employment for South Africans. We have said very clearly that we want people who are documented, who are permitted, yes, to be allowed to work. Those who do not have permits to work, who are not documented, the employers thereof will be committing a criminal offense, and we will be going after those types of employers. Community policing forums remain critical in the fight against crime and gender-based violence. Over the past year, our CPFs have been strengthened and they have